China did a lot of things right. At the beginning, like any country where a virus first shows up, they can look back and say where they missed some things. And it's sad that even the U.S., that you would have expected to do this well, did it particularly poorly. But it's not time to talk about that. But this is the time to take the great science we have, the fact that we're in this together, fix testing, treatments, and get that vaccine.
China spawned that virus. They hid it for 6 weeks. They could have contained it in Wuhan. They didn't. They seeded the world with this, with hundreds of thousands of Chinese getting on aircraft to Milan, to New York, and other places. Mr. Gates and I will differ on the need to hold China accountable. That's certainly the case.
Are we at the end of the beginning or at the beginning of the end?
Well, I wish I could say that we're halfway through, but I don't think so. It takes time to make a vaccine. The social distancing that we've had to engage in has huge economic effects, and it's very tough on people. There's a lot about the disease we don't understand. Of all the things I'm most surprised about the federal government response, the unwillingness to get involved in test prioritization. There will be the ability, particularly in rich countries, to open up if things are done well over the next few months. But for the world at large, normalcy only returns when we've largely vaccinated the entire global population.
Bill Gates has become the interesting substitute for the George Soros in the Democratic space. If you remember back over the recent years, we've seen a lot of misinformation, disinformation about George Soros with respect to democracy and advancing around the world. Bill Gates is that for the health community. It's somebody, this is big tech, this is privacy, this is investments, and this is global health. So it falls into anti-vax misinformation circles.
To all the people of Wuhan, you made a great sacrifice to be in this very strict quarantine. And, I'm very glad that it succeeded, but I'm sure that the difficulties were very great. And so we're thankful that you made these sacrifices, being at ground zero.
Hey, Bill, China locked people in their apartments, essentially. Scientists disappeared. People were terrorized and terrified. We don't even know what happened in Wuhan, but it's all like, oh, maybe a little extreme. Well, they've made a huge difference, as he said. Yeah, they made a huge difference. We've lost 50,000 Americans and trillions in wealth.